debt this fiscal year. So we should be about $24,000 where we have to make up as far as paying for the annual debt and these purchases. But those are the 17 pieces of equipment. They may be subject to change a little bit, but not much. I know there's been some questions about maybe some police vehicles, but at the end of the day, that's the request.
Brett, what's the difference between new and replace?
That's a good question. Replacement is meaning there's something that we have and something that we need.
For the record, the mayor has joined us back in.
Nice.
No gas. No gas.
So we have, the replacement meaning there's a piece of equipment and all they're doing is replacing. So that what's gonna happen is replacement versus a Ford Interceptor, there's a vehicle, if they're gonna purchase it and replace it with a vehicle.
And new means that we don't have that.
Right, it's new to the fleet, yes.
So the skid steer for 108, what is that?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and, go ahead.
What do you want to
The skid steer for 108 was, what page is it? Skid steer, 108, let me see, that is Public Works, so that would be the one going to the street department. That is the one that best serves its purpose.
What do you use it for?
This is for our complete reconstruction of our right-of-ways there.
But what kind of skid steer?
It's a cat.
But which model?
The 230D, I believe.
230?
Is that right?
That's a 299D.
299D, yeah.
299. See, I didn't even know.
So this is this is the one that would best fit the street department at this moment.
And the one for 84?
84, that is for the parks right away. I believe that is the, let me see, I can't, man, I don't have
259?
glasses. Oh, what'd you do?
Sorry. I'm trying to find it.
That would be for the right-of-ways, the right-of-way crew. That's gonna be a smaller,
This is the 299D.
yeah, the other one is the 230.
272. Yeah.
232, so I believe
That's
that's,
the 299.
yes, one is a track loader, the other one's a wheel,
Yeah.
compact, skid steer. They're both cats. So this is I believe this is a little more compact than the one for the street department now. There's reasons, I mean, any questions on the wheel versus track, I can answer those questions.
Well, the wheels is better for streets.
The one?
The wheels.
Not necessarily, it depends.
If
The
you're
street
jumping
on the top layer, maybe, but, okay, no, go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead. You're right, I agree.
When you start asking for his opinion, you don't want to hear while.
I don't know, I mean, that's
To
pretty
me,
good.
should I go on?
You know what I'm saying? You already know my mission.
No, okay. well,
Now, here's,
Any other questions?
is this in, Fred, is this budgeted?
Again, it's going to be paid for next year. So it's
Okay,
gonna happen.
so this isn't budgeted, this is for next year.
We won't make payments until next year. We're structuring it to where we don't put it this year, we get, put it next year, we won't pay it until next year. And it's in your packet. So what we're gonna do is, part of one of our debt services coming out next year, which was, back when I arrived, we bought 10 pieces, we bought 10 trucks. Is it 10 trucks? 10 trucks. And we bought computers, and we bought something else, I can't remember what all we did. You remember what we did?
Can you go back to the list, Chris?
There was
please?
11 vehicles,
11 vehicles.
49,
So what we're
40
doing is
computers.
basically buying equipment with, that's, with this, and we believe we'll have the funding in this next year's coming budget to.
Now, Fred, let me ask you this, out of all these, what is it, 11, 12,
17.
18 items?
17?
18, it says 18 on the bottom.
There's 17.
Why did I say 17?
It says 18.
Oh, because the first one has two.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So it's 18.
I think I was right the first time.
There's 18.
What was the question, sir?
So out of these 18 items on here, is each one of them, unless, I mean, honestly, are they all a necessity? I can't even talk.
Necessity.
Yeah, I'm asking conservative.
Absolutely. absolutely, absolutely need them.
I mean, I know that we want them, I mean, there's
No.
a difference between actually wanting and needing them.
We need them. I've got justifications on the replacements for the skid steers. I didn't,
Go ahead.
I mean, we see here like the scissor lift, the John Deere R, that's a replacement. The John Deere 950M, that's new. What's that for?
Right away. Can you explain what you're using right now?
yeah,
Oh yeah, he said he was using stuff from 1960.
One of the things that I'd like to point out to council is keep in mind, replacement, Brand's gonna tell you, those two are old and they are not even operable. Secondly, some of this is to do right of way, to clean those curbs. You see all the dirt, you can't even see them. Think about the performance and the use that why we're requiring this. I can see the prices, but these are things that are going to improve our streets, our right of ways. And that's what most of this is, for the performance, effective and efficiency of continuing to keep with the goals of the council in cleaning up our community.
Now, are we going to, this might sound like a silly
Way to
question,
fill it.
but are we going to properly use this equipment, and are we going to use it and maintain it?
Well, I can tell you this from my standpoint, I know that there's been some questions about some equipment, but I can tell you this, from my end, what I see here is all gonna be used, simply because there's relatively small pieces of equipment, and to me, they're a lot more user-friendly, if you will. And with that, one of the things we talked about when we did our street paving, heck, I'm gonna hold heck to this, one of the things we're gonna use, of course, that roller, right?
That's what I saw, the asphalt.
We're saying we can do that this year, we can do it ourselves, we can do the,
So that's,
we believe we can do that.
so we can hold y'all to, like, the roller.
the roller, just so you know, the roller that's here, that we're requesting is for road patching and utility cuts. It's not designed for, a reconstruction. So we would have to still rent a bigger contraption. This is just for our daily operations. We currently don't have one in our arsenal period at all. So this is a new acquisition, and it'll be completely for day-to-day operations. I mean, it'll do like the jogging trails and stuff it could do stuff like that. But to reconstruct a whole 40-foot right-of-way, it'll do the job. It'll just take a lot longer than a bigger one.
Heck, do you wanna mention again, just to remind them of the truck and the trailer, what that was requested?
Yeah, that's what we spoke the last time about.
Convinced you,
Yes.
right? James convinced you?
Right, so, yeah.
I saw that, but also like that crack sealer, the asphalt crack sealer, that's something that seriously has to be well maintained and has to be used, if not, if it sits there for a while, those $62,000 will go out to waste in 3 months.
I get it, we intend to use it, I mean.
Cause sometimes, I mean, if you actually think about it, some things are better off renting, because the amount of time that you're gonna use it, you might as well just rent it, that way someone else can maintain it.
Right. No,
But if y'all plan to use it on a daily basis and do a lot of crack sealing, a lot of rolling, and a lot of police monitoring the streets with the dispatch interpreter boards and all that, then
I get your concern, but if we're gonna continue to do our own streets like we have this last year, then the cost to have somebody else do that for us was exponential. I mean, 'cause for one, we had to supply them with the material, and two, because we had the material. So, in order to save $1 here and there, we contracted them to use our material and their machine. So that was through the roof. I mean, to do one block is fine, but when you do 8 or 9 blocks and then 3 of them back to back to back, so it gets expensive.
so
Either
we got the
way.
commitment of yourself and Joe, that y'all gonna do more streets.
Well,
in-house.
it's whatever the budget allows.
I didn't check.
think that this is where the county should go into an interlocal agreement to be able to use their equipment since we're in their precinct.
It is a challenge, it's a tough one, they are, I don't know if y'all get a chance, but they're doing some,
That's something that needs to be done.
they're, on the use of the equipment, they may allow, what I think they may say is they may wanna use equipment, but they wanna operate the equipment. meaning they won't let us operate their piece of equipment because it costs them however much it costs. But I don't know that they'll just let.
So do we do the same
The
back?
one that is true is designed to be free.
But if you let them say, hey, you're willing to just allow them to do the work, if you will, they'll do it, but I don't think they'll let you just borrow a piece of equipment and let it operate on. That's just-
But our citizens pay taxes towards all that stuff, I mean, why, I mean, that's the way I see it.
Yes, again, that's just what I've experienced, I don't know that that's what, we can ask, but that's.
What are we
And-
grooming?
Let's go. We're ready to vote.
What are we grooming? What are we grooming? Are we?
Pro-groomer Chestnut.
She wants to vote.
Oh, Rudy, what do you, I'm sorry.
There's
Who's the
something at the
groomer? Are we grooming the dogs we
Is
catch?
that, no, is that the football field? Is that the baseball field?
That's you, man.
That's the baseball field, right, for the, for the
No,
grass?
that's the sweet, streets.
The pro.
Groomer.
The program,
Oh.
under community development.
You want to take it?
Oh, that's a typo.
Oh. What?
Is it?
No.
Rumors always-
Oh,
Yeah,
I knew it.
That's the name.
That's the name of, oh.
You want to explain that real quick?
Yeah,
That's a
right.
typo? That's, that's right there.
That's for the fields.
Yes, for the fields.
That's what I grew up right.
Okay, the thing is that, let me explain.
Not for the dogs.
Everything that we got right now is all handmade.
Oh.
Machines.
It's a shame. So, I mean, being that complex is being well-known throughout the state, and the way we maintain it by stuff that we have to make by hand. Every time that we wanted to purchase something, it gets kicked out. We talk about James was talking about maintenance and all that. I want to replace a 1995 John Deere Gator. 1995. Back in March 20, 1995, is when we bought that John Deere from down the, when they had John Deere over here in Main Street. Paid $5,800 for it. Right now, it's got 5,700 hours on it. A lifetime for a Gator is 2,000 hours. It's still running. We're still running because I maintain our equipment like the military did, like they showed me. They're still running. Might not have fenders or something like that, but it's still running. Okay? Right now, and also I'm trying to replace a 2012 mower, Z-Track mower, that we're having problems with it, and when we parked it, it had 2,800 hours on it. Z-Track lifetime is 2,000 hours. We blew the engine out of it. We've been running on 3 mowers, and we maintain close to 100 acres. And we're maintaining it, we're with three mowers right now. So we got that one. That's the reason why we wanna swap it out and replace it with that. So we know how to maintain, but we have to have the right tools in order to do our job the right way.
And that's information I wanted you.
Okay.
Very good, Ram.
Absolutely right, because Ram, I gotta tell you, you have everybody coming to use the fields, and I know, and I'm speaking because I work in Dilly, when they came, they're like, y'all don't have this, y'all don't have that, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing, I mean, it really is, like what, like, cause they won't be able, they will have to maintain stuff by hand and stuff, they don't have stuff to do it, like, yeah, and the holes and like it is, they need the equipment, especially if it's back in 95, like, come on.
Okay, vote.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'm gonna let you finish up with your baby, go ahead.
Oh, I had a motion. Who did the motion?
Art Garza, and then I believe it was Tiffany that had it.
May I have all those in favor? Motion passes.
All right, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Taking over item 8C, discuss and consider ordinance number 2024-1002, adopting the City of Pearsall Personnel Manual for Administration of Employees. The City of Pearsall, our HR Director, Yanez, come on up.
Again?
I'm gonna ask for a motion in a second.
Motion.
Motion by Council, Mayor Pro Tem Leal, second by Councilwoman.
You're gonna adopt.
Okay, what do I do?
Yeah, the city sealer.
I'll help out with it.
City manager?
The handbook itself is in the packet. It is on page, where is it? It begins on page 139, and that is the packet. It runs all the way to page 188. So it's about a 50-page. I'm not gonna go over any items. If you have any questions, the one thing she did mention, two things actually they mentioned was on page, I don't know why I had it earmarked, and I'll have it easy. Was the holidays, which is on page 157, and all but one of those holidays has been approved by the city council. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Which is, says you just put it right in the middle so you wouldn't be able to see. No. It is, but it is on there, so those are the holidays. The vacation time is there, the sick time is there, as far as what people earn, for vacation and sick time. I will point out, as the council asked, what we're gonna do for those that have an excessive amount of hours of vacation and sick time. If you look, where's that in the policy, as far as it's delegated to the city manager, as far as anybody that's over that.
Anybody using it that, they didn't have time to get it, because,
There's gonna be times where they can take some of that. Now, I'll share this with you again, some of these folks have a lot, because they've been here a long time, they have a lot of hours. Some of them some may be losing hours, but that's pretty much is the threshold. Part of the reason this change was made because I'll also tell you this, there was no threshold for vacation or sick time. Meaning the policy before, whatever vacation time you accrued and sick time, you got paid for that. That is not happening with this policy. It's a total of 240 hours of vacation and sick time that's accruing, that's it. So I want to just make sure that that's clear. I think it's 160 hours of vacation and 80 hours of sick time, if they have it. And we are going to start some other things as far as a sick leave pool.
Yes, it's gonna be a management policy,
A sick leave pool, sick leave is the second
the
one.
buyback.
The vacation buyback, maybe we might do that, but right now it's just this. So again, we're asking for the approval. Is there anything else for Kelly May, that may want me to know of our policy?
Those are the major ones, because again, payouts to people that left had, I'm gonna say over $15,000. And that's where we didn't have it in the budget.
The auditor actually pointed that out in our audit, it was a finding that we didn't have a policy that didn't have a threshold on, so that's why we made the change.
So before this is approved, anybody that has, all those hours?
It'll be something that I'll give them time to take, time. I'm gonna give, in fairness to them, some of them are in this room. It is a substantial amount of time. It is a challenge, I'll share this with you, because some of these guys, they're here all the time, and not that they don't wanna take time off, but it is hard. And I know the idea is, well, that somebody should be able to fill in. In theory, that should be the case, but a lot of times we just have to.
I was gonna just say that, because I know, I'm just speaking, like, I know the chief is always working, even on weekends, even at nights, like, they need to be able, I mean, some of these other people that are under him that need to step it up, like, and that comes with y'all too, y'all should be somebody that should be able to step in place and know your job. I mean, you shouldn't be scared to leave somebody else in place.
So you're gonna make sure that's taken care
I'm
of?
gonna give them a certain amount of time, and so what we have to do is calculate, because keep in mind that there's still accruing hours as they're, so accruing hours and then taking time off with the hours they need to take off. So it's a lot. Some of these guys are having the hundreds of hours, I'll say that. But again, on that end, from the auditor standpoint, and to some extent, yes, I have to agree. We could have left the policy as is and not addressed what the auditor had in the finding. But it is something that does, if somebody does leave, it does cost us something a lot.
I have a question on this one that y'all gave us, where it says employees who violate this policy are subject, I'm thinking it's a sexual harassment, violate subject to appropriate, discipline, if the investigation results in finding that the policy has been violated, the mandatory minimum discipline is a written reprimand.
That's a minimum.
That's the minimum.
It's a minimum.
Okay.
And it's just the discussion.
But if it's proven that it is, I mean,
Yeah.
I y'all wanna do something else,
Once I
we
got
are
my
in the situation
investigation,
we're
I
in.
go over it with Department Head and Mr. Reyes. Mr. Reyes is the ultimate person, once he sees all our documentation that we have, it's a minimum. It's gonna be us together as a committee, but overall, he is the one that's
Just
going
like,
to say.
because we already see the situation we're in, and I just was freaking out.
I'm just ready to vote.